My name is Anuta Zack. I speak as an Edgware resident, endorsed and supported by all the local residents associations, BORA, CAPRA, CPL, ECA and MHRA. Tonight, you're being asked to approve the biggest and riskiest change Edgware has ever faced. Over 7,000 people have objected. 95% of local comments oppose this scheme. There's a clear message. This is the wrong plan. We sent you our briefing comment, which outlines many of our concerns, including serious and legal risks raised by this proposal. The entire justification for this proposal is the so-called transport hub and the major town centre regeneration. In reality, it destroys Edgware's covered, comfortable 68-seater bus station and its safe, proven outdoor bus garage. These are being replaced by bus stops along Station Road and an untested, unviable underground bus garage. The London Fire Brigade has been absolutely clear. The structural integrity of many of the blocks above the bus garage are intrinsically dependent on the structural integrity of the garage below. A fire could bring down the tower blocks above, whether the buses are diesel or electric. The Fire Brigade does not support retrofitting, and there is no safe way to build this garage now or in the foreseeable future. There is no backup plan. So what happens if it can't be built? On top of this, the scale and massing, tower blocks and ultra-high density are totally wrong for Edgware's suburban setting. There is no gentle transition, just an abrupt, overwhelming leap. You're placing this excessive density in an area already suffering from a green deficit, making a bad problem even worse. The Broadwalk, our covered shopping centre with comparison stores, shops for products like clothing and home goods, will be replaced by retail units under tower blocks. Colindale's retail offering shows what will come. It promised much, but delivered mostly takeaways, cafes or empty units.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Not the stores people travel to visit or that define a major town centre. Without comparison stores, Edgware will lose its major town centre status and its economic heart. Additionally, the town's only car park will see a 76% reduction, including the total loss of commuter parking, putting Edgware's unique banking hub and local businesses at risk during years of disruption. This is not regeneration. It's an irreversible gamble with our safety, our transport, our economy, and our suburban character. There is no real strategy here, just crossed fingers. Councillors, your vote is your own. If you approve this along party lines, it would be linked to you and your party forever. You cannot blame your predecessors. You alone are responsible for Edgware's future. Reject or defer this plan. Please do the right thing for Edgware. A sensible plan is possible and would be welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Are there any questions? I've got Councillor Meyer.
You talk, Anuta, about, firstly I must commend you on the effort you have led. My inbox has been flooded, as have all the other councillors here, and it's quite nice to see communities come together.
I apologise, I thought you could all filter them out. This gentleman complained, and I would say we didn't ask them to change the header, so I thought you would have an easy way of filtering it so you could understand the passion, but not necessarily be doing delete, delete, delete.
I'll be honest, more impressive you didn't fully crash Barnet's computer infrastructure, if I'm being really honest. But jokes aside, you spoke very well, but you spoke about a sensible plan. What do you see as a sensible plan? Because you mentioned you represent a plethora of resident associations. What do you see as sensible?
Okay, so for me, sensible is that Edgware functions, because this plan doesn't allow Edgware to function. The bus station is one of the busiest bus stations in London. 3,500 buses go down Edgware Station Road roughly every day. It has over 20 routes. 18 of those routes go into the bus station, where people get on and off without obstructing the traffic and Station Road. So if you move all of that traffic, it won't be Station Road, it will be Stationary Road, because it's massive. 3,500 buses every day. And what you're giving is a lay-by. I don't know if you know Stanmore, station and the lay-by there that serves 4 routes. It is, I've paced it, I'm 5'4.5". It is 139 paces, not including the last bit of pavement. What is proposed for these 20 plus routes is a lay-by that is 77 paces. It is about half the size for 20 plus routes. You can't, Dolly Parton said, you can't put 60 pounds of mud in a 2-pound bag. You can't do it. It doesn't matter if somebody did a tick-box exercise. We know our road. It's jam-packed anyway. If one bus breaks down, nothing will get by. It's not sensible. It's not about even the housing. The station won't work. Plus, it's a series of bus stops. Equalities impact assessment. They haven't done one. They've relied on the assessment that was made by the applicant. You have to walk, 400 metres or something, 200 metres? The disabled, the vulnerable, you've got small children, you've got to cross the road. We have a bus station, has 68 seats, is covered, is manned, has a kiosk. It works right now. We want something that works better. A bus station lasts for 40 years? You need to invest for something for the next 40, 50, 60 years. Embedded carbon. We want to be green. We want something that works for Edgware. It's not an unreasonable request, especially when the projection is 5,000 buses, not 3,500 buses. As for the garage, Helsinki doesn't sleep the buses there at night. It doesn't have residential towers above. Nowhere has high-density residential buses above an EV garage. It doesn't exist. You can't experiment with the residential towers. Experiment somewhere commercial with easy access for the buses and for the fire engines. Then, when you've actually experienced some fires, when you know that you can cope, then you can do it. But the TfL element shouldn't be there because it doesn't work right now. Why are you asking? The land isn't going anywhere. If it's available when the technology is there, then it's reasonable. But not before the technology, not before you know it's safe. I mean, a diesel car went in Luton car park. Between the first call of the fire 999 to the minute that they vacated because the protected staircase was in structural collapse, it was 39 minutes. And that is diesel on a relatively new car park with a fire brigade actually on site. It's an airport, they have fire engines. 39 minutes for a diesel fire to structurally collapse a protected staircase. There are between 7,000 and 11,000 souls that will be above that garage. And the 400 degrees for collapse of concrete, 400 degrees for collapse of steel. Lithium-ion battery, 1,500 degrees or more. And it takes hours to take out. They reignite, it can take weeks, it doesn't take hours. You've seen the things of the carriers where the cars have ignited and it's on fire for months on the sea because they can't put it out. I mean, sensible, reasonable. Now we can talk about the Broadwalk and the car park. Now, the Broadwalk, the Broadwalk is actually well loved, and unlike most retail shopping centres, was actually fully let, as is a lot of Station Road.
I think you've probably addressed the question that was asked, and very, very fully. Thank you. Are there any other questions Councillor Cornelius.
Yes, I'd be very interested to hear your views about the Broadwalk. I'm concerned about that. Perhaps you could
Can I remind all members of the committee, we're not here to discuss any alternative applications. You're here to discuss the application that's in front of you tonight. I just, as a general point, as regards the questions.
Okay. Can I rephrase my question to please you then?
Sorry, it wasn't. It was more the previous question.
Okay.
Asked. So it should be directed to a question that can be answered by that person, but relates to the application that's in front of you, that you all have to make a decision on tonight.
Okay. The report goes into quite some. There's quite a lot about the retail offer that will be there, created by this proposal. How will that compare with the current retail offer?
It's unlikely to compare. You have the example of Colindale, tower blocks with retail units underneath, same in Burnt Oak. You don't have the comparison stores. Major town centre definition is based a lot on comparative stores. Currently, the Broadwalk has anchor stores, but the only one that's promised to stay is Sainsbury's. And most of the retail units under tower blocks aren't really that well designed for comparison stores. It's not what usually works. It doesn't happen. So it's not, my real fear is you will pass something based on it being a transport hub and a major town centre, and by the time you've finished, it will be neither a transport hub, because that garage isn't going underground. They'll dig a hole and nobody will be able to put anything in it, and the major town centre will be a myth, because the comparison stores will go, and what will we be left with? We'll be left with cafes and tarmac, because it's not green in the middle.
Thank you. We will put that issue to the applicant in terms of what their plans are. But thank you. Are there any further questions? Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.